So I thought we'd just talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu budget, and also the fact that they got a massive tax credit from California, and how basically Disney is going only to locations where they can get. So basically, production budget is $166.4 million for the movie The Mandalorian and Grogu, which, if you look at the original budget for Mando season 1, it was like 120 million, but adjusted for inflation, it's 150 million. So it's actually on par with the just over the first season budget. What do we think of that as a budget? And then obviously, hilariously, that they got 21.75 million tax credit from California. So well done, everyone in California. You are now footing the bill for Disney, just like we are here, unfortunately, in the UK as well. So yeah, I'll go to you first, Nick. What do you reckon about all of this?
I'm actually kind of surprised that the budget's less than 200 million for this.
Yeah.
They like to overspend. I mean, they spent more on the Acolyte than on this movie, and this movie is more accepted in Disney Star Wars world than the Acolyte ever was going to be. So, you know, Grogu has been the most successful character to come out of Disney. They've made there's a lot of people that really like Grogu out there. Merchandise sells well out there for that character. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it's not they didn't spend more money on this. And we still haven't even gotten a trailer for it. They showed one at D23 privately, but and it did leak online. But I'm guessing they're going to wait till Star Wars Celebration next month, and then they'll release that same trailer. But
I
yeah,
don't think they will.
It's kind of surprising. You don't
I
think?
don't think they will. Well, because this movie releases next year. Why would they release a trailer this year?
Well, they already released the trailer for it at D23. So
I don't think they will.
Publicly, I think we'll get it. The people at Celebration will get to see it, and then after they get to see it there, I think it's going to be released online because they already have it in the bag and they've already showed it.
Yeah, but they did the same with the Acolyte, remember? And they didn't show that trailer until it was a couple of months before the release.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think they have as much faith in this after season 3 of Mando, which completely sucked. And that's probably why the budget is what it is. And the fact that they didn't film all this in California, I don't think. Did they?
Most of it was. It was all on like volume and those weird like LED screens and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. Freaking volume. People are starting to pick up on too much usage of the volume and aren't really, fans of it. I mean, for certain shots, I mean, it's probably fine, but you can't shoot a whole movie on the volume.
No.
And that's what they seem to be doing a lot with that series and this movie. So,
well, that's also what Snow White's going to be, or is as well. That's all just shot on this kind of crap as well. It's just garbage. Absolute garbage. Culture. What do you reckon about all of this and their reliance on tax credits these days?
I think it's the one thing that they are addicted to. That would, if they were trying to hide everything about how little their stuff performed versus how much it cost, they would gladly get rid of. But they are so addicted to the tax money, they can't. And likely the numbers that were being presented now will be exploded beyond belief. I don't believe it's only spent X amount of dollars so far. because you and I both know better, and they can't make anything without the tax credits. You can't afford to pay stars. I mentioned it this morning. I'm like, you can't write somebody an $80 million check for 2 movies. That's what they're going to do with Robert Downey Jr. You can't write an $80 million check to 2 directors for 2 movies. You cannot do these things. You're 160 million all in before you shoot a frame.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So
for 3 people, people.
Yeah, and so I'm like, this is not real. You are not, and that's the only way they can get away with it is to exploit your tax money, Nate. So, and at the same time, nobody in their right minds is going to believe that it costs what the initial production budget, quote unquote, budget is. This is not the actual financial spend. This is what somebody says, okay, if we were going to make a regular movie, it should cost this much money. But when we're done with it, it'll be $480 million. That's what's going to happen. And they're stuck there because you guys give away free money. If you stop giving away free money, they wouldn't be making movies there.
This is in California, mate. So they're doing this in California. This is your money, not mine.
Wait a minute. Wait, they're not shooting. Are you sure?
Yes, mate. It's literally. Did you pay any attention to this segment?
I did.
Literally said it right from the top. California tax credit. It's shot in California. The whole thing is shot in California, mate. Not my money. Yours.
Well, wait. Why are they
Grogu did not
okay, but why are they comparing it to all those other productions that were done in the UK?
Because that's literally just a list of budgets. That's all it is. That's just a list of every movie.
So they are deviating. They're deviating from their traditional shooting location.
No, not California. Mando and Grogu is always in California. Always in California.
Wow. Okay.
Because I had heard that Favreau doesn't. Yeah, I've heard that Favreau doesn't like going over to the UK.
Well, I think it's primarily based on the fact that the massive LED screens. I think it's because of where they started.
Because of the volume. Yeah. All right. Well, then that makes more sense. And as far as the budget goes, I still don't fucking believe it. We're never going to get a real number on it. I was hoping it was in the UK. That was my fault. I made an assumption.
Not mine.
No, I think that you're going to start seeing more of this because Disney hates the fact that we keep scooping them on how much money they're actually spending on these things because the UK is so transparent about this.
No, we're not. Disney's basically booked out Pinewood for a couple of years. So we're going to see more transparency. We'll be seeing more of their movies.
That would be good. But I don't believe for
what you said.
I don't believe. Yeah, well, there you go. I would believe that they put out this 166.4 million because that's now the number that Variety and the Hollywood Reporter will run with forever. I do not believe for a second that is going to be the actual budget for this movie because it never works out that way. I mean, they couldn't make that Captain America movie for under $300 million. They're not going to make a Star Wars movie for 166. I can't imagine that it's going to cost that little.
Yeah, it was surprising when I saw the budget. I'm like, what?
So just to clarify, let's pull this up. So this is back in 2019. Disney Inc.'s long-term deal to occupy most of Pinewood Studios.
Oh. I was not aware.
So, and that was the beginning, 2020.
Yep.
So they struck a long-term deal with Pinewood Studios outside London to take nearly all of its stages, backlots, and other production accommodation. The arrangement is expected to begin in 2020. And yeah.
Have you ever been how long it's going to be?
No,
when they say long term, does that mean 5 years? Does that mean 10 years? Does it mean 20?
No, literally no idea, but a long time. That'll be a long time.
What's this? Yeah.
Have you ever been there before, Nate?
No, no, you can't go there. You wouldn't be allowed to walk around or anything like that. I've seen Shepperton Studios because that's just off the M4. You just drive past it and you can look at it. But yeah, so no, we'll see more transparency. More.
Well, that's good. That's good. I've never been I'm happy to be wrong about something because I want to know what they're spending on these things because they keep trying to hide it. They keep, with this nonsense running around. The Captain America Brave New World cost $180 million when it had so many rounds of reshoots. That movie was reshot 3 times. And they're trying to tell us that it costs under $200 million. I don't think so. But I mean, for this to be the first Star Wars movie of the Disney era to be under 200 million, I can't imagine that's what's going to happen. Yeah, look at The Force Awakens, 245, Rogue One, 200. I mean, this will be the first Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith to be under 200 million.
I mean, it makes sense if they're just making a long, they're just making a series into a movie. It does actually make sense.
I figured they were going to want to go big. It's the first Star Wars movie in, since The Rise of Skywalker. I thought they were going to go balls to the wall with this one. It's the last viable franchise they have. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I think after the Acolyte and all this other stuff, maybe Bob Iger said to her, "You're not getting a lot of money for this, so make it work."
But there you go. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, they are just heavily reliant on these tax breaks, though, which I always find quite comical. So, yeah, there you go. Just thought this was an interesting thing to cover. We'll move on now.